As you probably know or might even expect, everything you've been told about how to stay healthy and more importantly disease-free hasn't been working out too well for the US in general. I've been recently reading a book by Dr. Joseph Mercola, Fat for Fuel, which goes against the fat propaganda we've been fed. So this is my little notebook in bite-sized chunks of some of the most important information in the book. There will be many more to come. The role of your mitochondria in your health. You know, the little organelles or tiny organs within your cells responsible for producing energy. These little powerhouses of the cell produce energy by combining nutrients from the sugars and fats within your diet. They need the oxygen you breathe to convert these into energy. Here's what this means for your health. Some cells have more mitochondria than others. Most of the body's cells have between 80 and 2,000 of these little energy factories. The more active an organ is, naturally the more mitochondria it needs to keep production going. That is why these are so important for the heart, brain, liver, kidneys, and muscles. So of course, you're really only as healthy as your mitochondria. The power of your mitochondria. Mitochondria make energy molecules called adenosine triphosphate, or otherwise known as ATP. Dr. Mercola states that I suspect you'll be surprised to learn that your mitochondria produce about 110 pounds of ATP every day. According to Power, Sex, Suicide, Nick Lane's excellent book on mitochondria, this enormous army of organelles is hard at work every second of the day, pumping out 10,000 times more energy gram for gram than the sun. He further states, so you can appreciate that optimal mitochondrial function is the key to a well-functioning metabolism. Repairing mitochondrial dysfunction offers one of the simplest and most promising new strategies for improving your health and helping prevent diseases like cancer from developing in your body in the first place. The energy producing process. Every cell in your body naturally needs energy. This is produced through a process known as oxidative phosphorylation and produces ATP, adenosine triphosphate. ATP is super important for your body's ability to function because it's like electricity for a light bulb. Just think about this. Your heart has more than 5,000 mitochondria per cell. Obviously, you would want them to function at optimal levels. So what causes mitochondria dysfunction? When producing ATP, or let's just call it energy, there's a process of chemical reactions called the Krebs cycle. What happens is the electrons from the food you eat are combined with protons on the production line, called the Krebs cycle, to produce energy. The factory doesn't always produce the right products though. Sometimes a certain percentage of electrons will fall off the production line, so to speak, and produce what is known as reactive oxygen species. Dr. Mercola states ROS are molecules that contain oxygen atoms that have gained one or more unpaired electrons, making them very unstable. So what happens is that these molecules go on a stealing spree, taking what they need from healthy molecules. Too much of this and the mitochondria can't function optimally. Hence what are known as free radicals. And here I thought that free radicals were politicians like the kind who helped pass some of the GMO laws who haven't been imprisoned yet. Maybe that's a little different arena. Anyhow, Mercola states free radicals react with other molecules in what are known as oxidation reactions in order to neutralize their unstable electrical charge. Oxidation here is essentially biological rusting. It creates a snowball effect as molecules steal electrons from one another. Each one becomes a new free radical, leaving behind a trail of biological carnage. Here's what this means for your health. These expanding invaders gather within the cell and breach the cell and mitochondrial walls, or what is called membranes, in a process known as lipid peroxidation, ultimately leading to disintegration. This disintegration can also damage your DNA. Mercola also writes in this book, Fat for Fuel, that current research estimates that your DNA suffers a free radical attack somewhere between 10,000 and 100,000 times a day, or nearly one assault every second. All this spells ultimately disease. And one matter he warns about in the book is the antioxidant craze of people taking lots of antioxidants to combat free radicals. He says it has benefits, but he shows in the book how taking antioxidants by cancer patients can actually keep cancer alive. Because mitochondrial health is the basis for his book, he shows how you can avoid or at least greatly reduce the ROS or free radical buildup game to begin with. And more on that in upcoming videos. This is Sean Ongley from MyMagneticWellness.com.